Good afternoon, my dear viewer. We are here in the beautiful and unsurpassed and unsurpassing Grand Mosque of Scarborough, as I would like to refer to it, taking part in the beautiful communal atmosphere of ibadah, which is essentially the worship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala azza wa jal. Now, you may or may not be a Muslim. You may or may not believe in religion. You may or may not believe in God. But you gotta admit, this is the place, eh? Check it out, man. This stuff has sliding doors, all this kind of stuff. We got kids here playing, reading the Quran. And you can see there's no whips and chains, eh? A beautiful little boy is reading his, mashallah, his Quran. There's nobody standing over him, right? With a whip, like they make it out. Like, obviously, if you have like southern Afghanistan or some nonsense like this, and you've got the Taliban, that's another story. But do you see any oppression here? These kids are having fun. Are you guys having fun? They're having fun, right? And so that's the whole thing right there. So I was gonna say, like, you may or may not believe in religion, dear viewer. However, you must admit, this is the shindigi. Look at this stuff. Okay, now it's not gonna work, right? There you go. Like, it's a beautiful place. Now, you'll be like, well, it's based on lies and deceptions, and it's based on, you know, it's based on, like, false stories, and you'll say, well, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and his family just wrote the Quran. I mean, these kinds of statements are so stupid and banal. You think that, basically, you'll think that, you know, so there's the Imam of the mosque sitting there doing his daily business, right? Obviously, he's too busy to engage. Salamun alaikum. All right, good stuff. So yeah, so you may or may not be a Muslim, dear viewer, but you got to understand, like, if you think that Prophet Muhammad was an idiot, let's say, or he was just like a regular guy who suddenly one day wrote the Quran, or whatever you think is just retarded, because you know what? You're not going to start a religion that 1400 years later is still practiced by like a quarter of the world or something. Do you understand? 1400 years have passed since the Holy Prophet of Islam appeared on this terrestrial plane or what have you, right? According to Shias. Oh God, there we go. Is the light better that way, my dear viewer? I care so much about you guys, and I get nothing but grief from you guys. People like blocking me on Twitter and unliking. It's funny, actually. It's funny. People blocking me on Twitter and unliking my my YouTube videos and all this kind of nonsense, right? But it's like, yes, everything all right? So yeah, people blocking my videos and all this kind of stuff, and yeah, so what I'm trying to do is get a view of the dome of the mosque, right? So that you guys can appreciate the beautiful architecture. It's like you guys say, oh, religion is the fountainhead of evil. Guys, calm down for just a split second. I'll put things in perspective for you. All right, so basically, guys, the most evil people are certainly religious. Do you understand? And everything that I say is from the Quran. There's a whole chapter of the Quran, chapter 73, which is called Al-Munafiqun. It's basically saying that a religious person who basically is an evil person. I mean, he's essentially a hypocrite, Munafiqun. So now you gotta ask yourself, when you say stupid things like religion causes all wars, you gotta ask yourself, was World War II caused by religion? The answer is negative. World War II killed 55 million people, and you're gonna say religion is the cause of most of the suffering in the world. Religion is the cause of most of the evil in the world. Religion is the cause of all of the bad things that happen. I can't get a view of the mosque, eh? And the traffic's gonna start killing me because of the sound, eh? So I gotta get back inside. But this is Scarborough. Right over here is Lawrence Avenue. And down over there, you can see the bridge. I believe the bridge is going over Kennedy or something. I don't even know what's going on. I just moved to Scarborough. But Toronto is amazing. Like every part of this beautiful city has its own charms, has its own customs, has its own... Like here, it's predominantly Muslim. That's really why I moved here. I've had enough of like people basically giving me a hard time. So there's the dome. Okay, so now you're gonna say religion is the cause of every evil, and I'm gonna point to this beautiful mosque, and I'll be like, what about Islamic art and architecture? And then I'll be like, what about Islamic sciences? You guys are gonna say, well, religion is contrary to science. You're an idiot if you say religion's contrary to science, given the fact that the father of algebra was a Muslim, father of physics was a Muslim, father of chemistry was a Muslim, father of medicine, everyone knows Ibn Sina, right? No one knows people like Hayyan ibn Ajar or whatever. Like, there's so much stuff. I mean, here's the thing. You can come to my video, Dear Atheist Friend, and you can say, well, the guy's obviously a crackpot, and just unlike it and be on your way. That's fine. I don't mind that at all. I actually get off on that kind of stuff. On the other hand, if you're a seeker of the truth, then you need to ask certain questions. And they're simple questions. Can something come from nothing? No. Can life come from no life? No. Where did the universe come from? Why is it working according to certain rules? Yes, of course it's the case. If there are laws of the universe, there has to be a lawgiver. How is it possible that everything that we see around us, which is so magnificent, just happened and just occurred by itself? You're going to say that, well, it's an accident, you know, or this is the best that you'll come up with. You are intellectually lazy, because you will say something like, oh, well, you know, religion is essentially, it's intellectually lazy. What do you mean by that, intellectually lazy? When you're the one who says, well, the universe just is, right? The universe just is. There's no rational explanation for it, or at least nothing that we've figured out so far. That's because you're avoiding the question. You haven't figured it out because you're avoiding. There's only two alternatives. Either, okay, let's say there's three alternatives, and two of them are actually absurd. One is absurd to a laughable degree. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. One of them is absurd, just simply absurd. So the first conception is as follows. First conception is that religion, okay, is just something made up by people. Once again, if you think Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and his family was just a regular guy, then I don't see you with anything of worthy of note. Now, for example, have you started a company? Have you started a book club? Have you gathered any people around you at all? No. I know this because the only people who don't appreciate what Prophet Muhammad's done in terms of gathering people are people who have never engaged and tried to gather their own people, because they don't stand for nothing. You can only gather people around you if you stand for something and if you have principles. إِنَّكَ لَعَلَى خُلُقٍ عَظِيمٍ. The Quran says about Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him and his family, that if you had been stern and hard-hearted, Assalamu alaikum. If you had been hard-hearted and if you had been cruel or harsh, لَفْتَفَرُّوا مِنْكُمْ, something like this, they would have dispersed. People wouldn't have come around you. But the case is, إِنَّكَ لَعَلَى خُلُقٍ عَظِيمٍ. You are إِنَّكَ لَعَلَى خُلُقٍ عَظِيمٍ. So khuluq is from the word ikhlaq. Ikhlaq is essentially, you know, Rasul Akram sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him and his family, said that I was sent to complete ikhlaq. Ursiltu ba'athtu or ursiltu li utimma makarim al-akhlaq. I was sent to complete good manners. So you guys are going to be like, well, religion tells you to fight people, and the whole point of religion is to subjugate others, and the whole point of religion is to... You look at this pencil effect. Isn't that amazing? That's like science fiction right there, guys. Look at that. Isn't that insane? I mean, to me, these little things, these make things life interesting for me. Like, that thing is insane, man. Look at that. Anyway, dear viewer, I'm getting distracted as usual. Let me go inside and see if I can wrap this up. Okay, so the concept I was trying to make clear to you is that religion is not
responsible for evil. People are responsible for evil. Hitler was religious. Okay, I'm not going to get into that argument. Hitler, I know, was religious. I've read Mein Kampf. And in any case, Mein Kampf, Mein Kampf is not a religious book. Assalamu alaikum. Okay, that's good, that's good. MashaAllah. So, Mein Kampf is not a religious book, dear viewer. But at the same time, Hitler was religious. Now, where did he get his anti-Semitism from? God knows. But if you come into a mosque, you're going to have a place of sanctuary, a place of peace, a place of community, a place of morals. Do you see anybody here? Look at these beautiful kids. If I went to this kid and I asked him, did anybody ever hit you or punish you or try and brainwash you or something like this, the guy he won't even know what I'm talking about, right? So if you say that religion is dear viewer, if you say that religion is the root of all evil, then you're out to lunch. World War II killed 55 million people. 55 million people. So 55 million people died in World War II. And I dare say that if you add up all of the casualties of all previous wars, it's probably close approximate in terms of, if you look at, okay, the Crusades was a religious endeavor, but if you look at like Spanish Inquisition and civil wars and all these kinds of things, 55 million people is a lot of people, guys. There's like millions, like basically I was on RT yesterday, Russia television. It's the only real news station.
Excuse me, brother. Do you have permission to
Oh, I
take
need
this
permission?
video? Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that, sir. I didn't know that at all. I'm doing my work as
You are
tabligh.
disturbing the students also.
Oh,
You have
okay.
to
I'm
take
sorry
off
about
this,
that.
okay?
Okay, sure. You only need to say